So you want to make a lockdown in NBA 2K26. The game just came out and I'm sure a lot of you guys are confused with the build specialization, the new cap breakers. You could get so many cap breakers this year and you're kind of wondering what's the best lockdown build to optimize these cap breakers and utilize them to the best of your abilities. Well, you come to the right video. I'm going to show you just how to do that, okay? Alright, so you want to start off at shooting guard or small forward, depends on, what you want to play. I typically recommend small forward, but you're going to see with shooting guard you get a fun player comp, right? You're going to go height 6'6", you're going to bump your weight up to 220 just so you could get that 85 strength, and then you're going to go max wingspan at 6'11", or sorry, one below max wingspan. And then starting off, we're gonna go right into the shooting. You're gonna want to max out your three. You're gonna max out your three to 83. This is gonna give you, sorry, not max out, two below max out. 83 gives you bronze limitless range, and you're gonna also bump your midi up to an 89. This 89 gives you gold shot specialist, and if you get a max +2 down the line from say hitting level 35, I think it is, you could bump this up to legend. You're gonna have legend set shot specialist, and that's just gonna make you be able to hit all the more threes, right? And now we're also gonna just quickly do with playmaking. You just want to bump your pass accuracy up to a 71, nothing too fancy, just enough to make quick passes and have silver dimer. It's pretty cheap on this build. If you want to go lower, you can go lower, but I recommend 71, especially if you're going to play rec 5s. Next, let's go to our finishing. So we're going to bump up the driving dunk to a 75. What a 75 lets us do is it unlocks Devin Booker dunk packages, which are some super quick dunks. It's very similar to quick drop-offs off one. And he sort of has that very quick dunk package. So say you hit a backdoor cut, you're going to be able to get it off really quickly. You're going to also bump your standing dunk up to a 72. This is going to give you bronze rise up. Not right now, but once we upgrade our vertical, you're going to see it. We're going to have bronze rise up. And like I said, when you cut, you're going to be able to dunk. Standing dunks are only equipable by 6'5" and up players, and we saw last year that standing dunks are pretty valuable, and especially this year I think the paint and cutting is going to be pretty important. It seems pretty busted right now. I'm not sure if it's because people haven't been upgrading their defense, but you're able to score in the paint quite easily. And you're going to go to your physicals. You're going to bump your speed up to 190. Oh, this might be overkill. No, guys, trust, you want to have high speed on these builds, on lockdown builds especially. I'd take high speed over high strength, I think, because you just want to be able to keep up with the fast break and just keep up with all that stuff. You're also going to just bump up your agility, max it out to an 89, and I'll explain to you why we bumped this up to an 89. And earlier I did say we're going to have 85 strength, so just bump this up to an 85 as well. This is going to give you gold immovable enforcer, which you'll see once we upgrade our perimeter defense. And you also just want to get your vert up to a 65, and you're going to see that gives us post riser and rise up. And that's pretty important. So these are your physicals, key physical attributes. And then let's jump right into what the meat is with this build, which is perimeter defense. So you're going to bump your perimeter D up to 94. Now, I know that you might want to get it to 95 for Hall of Fame challenger right off the bat, but trust, you just want to be a little bit patient. You want to specialize in perimeter defense, which I'll get into a little bit more later on, but with a 94 perimeter you could cap break it to a 99 because you still have potential to get it there, right? And once you cap break that to a 99, you get every single defensive badge on legend, except for I think pick dodger, which you could also just max +1. So I think that's something that's pretty cool, right? You're going to bump your steal up to an 85. And I know you guys are going to be like, oh, 85, that's too low. Trust, man, plugs aren't really a thing. It's more about positioning in the game, right? And I had a big with like 20 steal. I was able to get a lot of bump steals and just rip the ball and stuff. So I don't think steal is really that important. But you do still want it for the gold interceptor. Next, we're also going to take our block up to a 74. Yes, you are a lockdown, but you still want to be able to defend the paint. Like, I think rim running is going to be very, very effective this year, or at least for the first month of the cycle, right? I played a game, man. I was on a big and I had high defense. I wasn't really able to stop much in the paint, So I think it's just really important for you to have high interior defense. And along with that, we're just going to bump up our interior D to a 74. And you're going to put the last remaining attributes on free throw or whatever you want to put it on. I'm just going to throw it on free throw. You could probably knock down the close shot by 1. You can keep it if you want to, but it's no really point, right? You're just going to throw it all on free throw, 75. And there you go. This is the final build right here. And I'm going to jump into what we're going to do with our specializations really quickly, okay? So what you really want to specialize in is defense. And let me explain to you why. So you get cap breakers quite early this cycle. You get one for hitting level 40. I think you get one for hitting level 6, or was it in your crew? So you make sure you join up a crew. You also get one at rookie 5, which you should probably hit within the first week if you play the game like just a regular amount, like 2 hours a day. So you're gonna have 3 cap breakers right off the bat, which you could throw on perimeter defense, get it to 97. And then eventually within a couple weeks you should have your specialization done, especially with defense, right? And then you could throw all that on perimeter. You're gonna end up with 99 perimeter, and now you can max +1 or max +2 anything here. Now this is where it gets fun. I'd recommend max +2ing interceptor to legend, right? Now you have legend interceptor, legend badges, and I believe when I looked at it, it was pick dodger that you don't get on legend because your agility is too low. I think you need 92 agility, 99 perimeter for legend pick dodger. You can max +1 pick dodger, and now you have every single defensive badge on legend, and you have legend interceptor along with gold set shot specialist, which you could also max +2 to legend, right? Because this is a catch and shoot build. You have high midi, yes, you could score out and you could shoot, right? You also, your speed with ball and your ball handle are not bad either, right? This is not terrible. You could maybe work with it a little bit. I personally wouldn't try, but you might be able to shoot, right? And you have that gold set shot specialist, which is eventually going to get to legend. And I think that's probably the best way to do it. You want to make sure that you use your cap breakers in the most effective way possible. And I think this is probably the best way to use it, especially if you're going for a lockdown, right? A 3-and-D build. And I'm just going to jump into the comparisons real quick because like I said, the comparisons are pretty fun on this build. As you can see, we have Kobe Bryant as our comparison, and we're a 2-way mid-range bully, man. Trust me, this build is elite, man. Probably one of the best lockdowns in the game that you can make. You're able to shoot, you can play elite defense, you're not really wasting many attributes, you're fast as well. And I think that's probably the best part about the build. As you can see, when you look at our strengths, premier perimeter defender, deadly in open floor situation, control speed in every movement, mid-range game always shows up. And some of the weaknesses is misses early layups under pressure, pressure forces early pickups, which you really don't mind because you're not going to dribble the ball and you're not really going to try and lay the ball up. You're only taking it up when you're wide open, you know? And if we just, test the build out, quick test, right? You can see, man, this build is big, right? Green? No, I'm sorry. But I'd really recommend this build as your top lockdown. And that'd be all for the video, guys. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. If you have any questions or if you guys need some jump shot help or any help with that, please leave a like and comment your needs, and I'll try and get a jump shot video out pretty soon. I'm still kind of working on it. I have my own builds and stuff and content that I'm trying to work on, but I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and I hope we have a fantastic year on 2K26.